Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings studio, here's Sports Nightly.
Welcome into Sports Nightly. I'm Yaw Bonsu, riding solo tonight. Let me take you back to 1995. Toledo women's basketball hires a man by the name of Mark Elin to be its new head coach. Elin was coming off a 9-year run with Xavier, leading the Musketeers to only one NCAA tournament appearance. But in his first year with the Rockets, Elin did something no other coach in program history has ever done in year one: win the MAC tournament. And now 29 years later, another first-year head coach, Jenny Bogus, has a chance to do the same. It's MAC Championship Sunday in the land. Number 1 versus number 2, Ball State and Toledo. Rockets trailed early but fought back to tie it up. Jessica Cook gets the bucket for Toledo's first lead. In the second, it's a 1-point advantage with the shot clock winding down. Kira Goss drains the triple before the violation. Rockets up 20-16. Multiple lead changes in the second quarter. Down 1, Kendall Carruthers launches the 3-ball to regain the lead. Toledo takes a 3-point lead into the break, but 3 more lead changes early in the third. Rockets down 1. Sammy McConowitz working the post with the fadeaway. Count it. Rockets back out front. Still a 1-point game. Carruthers has the lead with the open 3 to let Toledo with 17 points, but the Cardinals step on the gas later in the third. Michelle Austin takes her time, lets it fly, and hits the go-ahead tray. Ball State now on an 8-2 run. Austin finds a cutting Alex Richard for the basket. She led all scorers with 28 points. Ball State is the 2025 MAC Tournament champions, a 65-58 win. Sharon Shelton and Nicole Weaven join us from Cleveland. Thank you, guys. High school hoops, it is the end of the road for Anthony Wayne girls basketball. The Generals fell to unbeaten Cincinnati Winton Woods 70-55 in the D2 state title game yesterday. Elise and Brooke Bender showed up and out, combining for 36 points and 23 rebounds. Anthony Wayne only trailed by 4 at half, but a surge by the Warriors in the fourth ended up being the difference. With a little over 5 minutes left, Anthony Wayne trailed by 9 points and did not let up. The Warriors also forced 19 turnovers to win their first state championship. But despite the loss, the Bender twins have nothing but gratitude for the experience.
Yeah, it's just amazing to even come back here. I mean, my freshman year, we were here and we ended up losing in the Final Four, but just being able to experience it again and end my season on this court is really what I wanted to do.
Meanwhile, in Bellevue, the celebration continues after the Lady Red took home the Division IV state title last night, beating Alter by 11. Its 16th straight win of the season. Monday morning at 8 a.m., a community celebration is planned at the school's gym after Bellevue's fan base took over UD Arena last night. It is the first girls basketball state crown in their first trip to the Final Four, but that all comes despite having plenty of talented teams over the years.
It's hard to compare teams from divisions. You know, we're Division II all the years, went to Division IV. So that's not fair to compare groups like that.
On the boys' side, just one more day until St. Francis makes its long-awaited return to the state Final Four. I love those dance moves. The Knights will be nice and rested. Tomorrow will mark 8 days since beating Winton Woods 45-40 to advance to the state semifinal. While rest is important, it is a lengthy amount of time off, but the Knights have had the time to reflect and prepare for their next opponent in 23-2 Westerville North, tipping off at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
The rest time's nice. It gives you time to really hone in and focus on them. You know, I gave them the last couple days off just because plus playing Thursday and Saturday was quite a bit. So,
all right, here is how the D2 bracket is shaping out. Both semifinal games are on Sunday. 13-13, Massillon Perry takes on a North Royalton team that is riding a 24-game win streak. That game is at 3 over at Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. Then it is St. Francis and Westerville North at 6 over at Wright State. In Division III, Ike plays Sandusky tomorrow at 3 over at Wright State. The winner will face either top-ranked Garfield Heights or a Louisville team that is making its first ever appearance in the state Final Four. The title game is Friday at 1 at University of Dayton Arena. And in case you missed it last night, since the start of basketball season, BCSN has been tracking the top players in the area. We released the top 30 boys and girls watch list in January. We narrowed it down to 10 and 10. And now the final 5 named first team all BCSN. Here's Justin Feldkamp. Thank you, Justin. And coming up, revisiting Toledo men's basketball after bowing out of the MAC tournament in the semifinals. Come on back. Welcome back. Meet the newest member of Toledo softball, Kelsey Cousino. The 12-year-old signed with the team through Team Impact, an organization that pairs college teams with kids facing serious illnesses and disabilities. Kelsey Cousino has Williams syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that affects various parts of the body. She threw out the first pitch in the team's win over Western Michigan today. Rocket shortstop Grace O'Malley says Cousino brings a unique energy that you don't get every day.
Days can look the same. It can get complex. You're going to school, you're going to class, you're going to softball, you're going to lift. And Kelsey just brings this energy and this light that we just kind of gravitate to, and we really just love.
Hear more about Kelsey and her story later this month as a part of Rocket Roundup. Men's hoops, Toledo's season ended in the MAC tournament after a loss to eventual champion Akron in the semifinals. The season could be described as a step back for a team that has been riddled with high expectations. Yes, UT did finish the regular season as the 4th seed in the conference, but it entered the postseason losing 6 of 8 games down the stretch, which is a far cry from Rocket teams of the past, the previous 4 of which won the regular season conference title. The theme for this season was get the nickel or win a 5th straight championship, but looking back, head coach Todd Kowalczyk doesn't think that was appropriate.
I saw a great quote from Rick Pitino a week or two ago, just, you know, successful people, successful programs, part of that is humility.
More college hoops, A-10 semifinals today. Toledo native Zeb Jackson and VCU facing Loyola Chicago. First half late in the shot clock. Jackson, the Atlantic 10's 6th man of the year, spins and hits. VCU leading 13-12 later in the half. Jackson with the ball up top, drives the lane to former Maumee Valley Hawk with a nice touch off glass. Rams leading by 9 at the break. Ramblers make a run in the second half. VCU ball down 1, and Jackson once again attacking the basket. The dunk puts VCU ahead for good. Top-seeded Rams win 62-55. Jackson, 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 helpers in the semifinal victory. And coming up, one of the largest margins of victory you'll ever see. Guzzapalooza. Adrian puts on a show. We tell you how after the break. Welcome back. College of Cross, Adrian and Dubuque. The Bulldogs opened up the scoring less than a minute in. Michael Jonas feeds past Ethan Smith and finds Nylon. Adrian got off to a 6-0 start to the game, capped off by back-to-back goals for Trace Tidwell. He finished the game with a hat trick. The Spartans broke their scoring drought with a 3-0 run of their own, sparked by Aiden Culligan finding a cutting Giovanni Silva for the goal. But in the second, the Bulldogs simply overwhelmed the Spartans. Alec Weinger launches a rocket to put Adrian up 7-3. Here's Michael Jonas again. The fancy footwork plus the airtime for the goal. He finished with 5 goals and 4 assists. Adrian rides an 8-goal second quarter to a dominating 23-7 win. And coming up, you've got the head coach. Now it's time to build the staff. How new BGSU football head man Eddie George is building his coaching crew. It's hard to believe this time last week is when Eddie George, the Eddie George, came to Bowling Green with all this momentum that was starting to build. After being hired on Sunday and introduced on Monday, the new Falcon football coach is remaking the BGSU staff, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Both cornerbacks coach Robert Armand and defensive line coach Cornell Brown announcing on social media they would not be retained by George. And footballscoop.com is reporting linebackers coach Samuel Alonson also will not be back. On Monday, George said he wanted to take time to meet with all of the coaches before making any decisions, and he wants to make the right ones.
I don't think now is the time to say, hey, we're going to become a run-and-shoot offense. No, I'm going to look at realistically what made them successful. This is not a rebuild. This is a retweak.
Not a rebuild, but a retweak. Fans will like that. Sports Nightly. We'll be right back. Yes, the ice is green. Wings celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Fish adding several players this week, including Dylan Moulton, fresh off his college career at Miami, gets a goal in his second pro game. Whole team scores the next 3. Late in the first, Colin Sawyer finding Conlon Keenan on the doorstep. Toledo back with 1 goal. Early in the third, Toledo down 2. Traffic in front of the net. Puck gets behind Hunter Vorva, and Nolan Moyle slams it home. While I would later tie it and force overtime, game goes to a shootout. Brandon Hawkins up first for Toledo, beats Vorva, and that is the only goal of the shootout. Carter Geilander stops all 3 Kalamazoo shots. Toledo wins 5-4. And by simply going to OT, Fish become the first team to clinch a playoff spot in the Western Conference. And I feel like this is a good time to remind you our BCSN Bracket Challenge is officially open. You can sign up after Sunday, and you'll have until Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to construct your bracket for the March Madness tournament. A perfect bracket will get you $1 million. Visit bcsnnation.com/bracket for more details. And before we go, BGSU alum Scotty Miller re-signed with the Steelers. Who will his quarterback be? I'm wondering too. Have a good night.